Hi guys, I'm excited because this is kind of like my first tutorial. I know that most of you girls have been asking me for years how I do my eyebrows, and you're finally gonna get to see it. I actually am preparing to do a live on one of my cafecito musicales, and I decided that I was just gonna go ahead and kill two birds with one stone and just kind of prepare my makeup prior and then just go live for my cafecito. So while I will be showing you how I do my eyebrows, I will also be kind of doing like a quick, I don't want to say 5-minute, but it's a quick like daily routine for makeup. I don't wear makeup, a lot of makeup on during the day, unless I'm going out, then I kind of invest a little bit more time. But the eyebrows, for the most part, always get done, and it's pretty much the same process. So I'm gonna also show you, besides the eyebrows, I'm gonna show you how to do like an everyday makeup look. Take you more, my eyebrows is what takes me the longest, so it probably shouldn't take you more than 25 minutes, and it's because the eyebrows take most of the time. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. For every day, you know, I've already applied my eye cream, my moisturizer, and my serum, and my sunscreen. So this is how my bare face looks. There are two foundations that I use. And the reason for that is because I've noticed that this one by Clinique is really good. It's the Beyond Perfecting Foundation and Concealer, and the reason that I really like it is because I don't have to use a concealer with this. Yeah, you know, you use the concealer and all that stuff for, you know, nighttime events or whatnot, but for the daily use, you don't want to use that whole routine. So that's why I really like this one, because it's a foundation and a concealer at the same time. Sorry, I was looking at the actual screen. I forget to look at the little hole. So this one actually contains a foundation and a concealer, which means that all of your little imperfections and your under eye, this is perfect for it because it's 2-in-1, and it does give pretty good coverage. So I had heard a lot about this one. It's the Maybelline Fit Me Matte Poreless. Normal to oily. I had heard a lot of people rave about this one, and I love the fact that it's a drugstore product. This one is about $7-8 bucks, and this one's about 22. But they last pretty long, and this one lasts obviously a little bit less than this one. This one, I found it, I think it was like at Target, like I said, $7-8 bucks. Really, the first one that I got was actually a pretty good match to my skin, and it's the one that I've been using. So what I do is I use this one in the eye area, like the under eye area, and any little imperfections that I may have, or a little dark spot, and then I add this one on the surrounding areas, and then I just blend everything together. So, and I do that on the daily as well as for like nighttime and stuff like that. So I like to use a beauty blender. There's a lot of talk out there about brushes or beauty blenders. I haven't used brushes in a long time for foundation. I tend to like the beauty blender, the beauty sponge. So it's basically up to you. This is how I apply it. So you go in the eye area here, and once again, I'm looking down at the mirror. So then I kind of just do like this and this. Sometimes I have like little spots here. That's pretty much it. I don't have a lot of dark spots because I've been changing my skincare regimen, so it's been helping a lot. And if that's another video that you guys want to watch, just let me know. So for this one, I kind of, you know, just add it like that in the areas, and then this one I just kind of go in and, you know, that's another thing that I love about this one, that it has that stick that you don't get your fingers dirty because you apply it directly to, you know, your face. With this one it doesn't, so I usually just use my finger. So kind of just go like this. See how the shades are different? This is more of like an olive, and I feel that both of them kind of do the job of like blending together for like the perfect shade. So now you just go ahead and
no hay dos. Él le falló y ella se reveló con sus amigos.
remember to bring your foundation over the jaw, close to your neck. Some people go down into the neck, but usually it doesn't completely match. So sometimes you end up with like a weird like halfway thing. So I kind of just bring it down to under the jaw. But just make sure that you blend it, because I've seen a lot of people that actually just blend until like here, and then you have like one color here and one color here. So just make sure it comes over your jaw. Now for the most part, this is the closest that I find that my skin tone is. So see how like right here gets it all out of the way. The combination of both of them is like what gives me the best coverage. Okay, so once that's done, I go ahead and I've seen other girls that do their makeup and they do their foundation and then they do their eyebrows, or they do their eyebrows first and then they do everything else. I don't like that, because if you have your eyebrows done, like you have to like go around like your eyebrow, and that's just like too much stuff. So, and I like to put foundation on my eye area, because that way it kind of blends together and it doesn't have like one color here. So I like to do the foundation first and then the loose powder, and then I go and do my eyebrows. Like I said, I know people that do that the other way around. That just doesn't work for me. It doesn't make sense to me. So once you have that, then you go and I use this one. Now, most of you guys probably think of your abuelita when you see this Coty Airspun loose face powder. I know it's very old school. There's a lot of products out there, but you know what? Sometimes new products don't necessarily mean that they work better. This has been around for years. My grandma used to use it. On both sides, my dad's mom and my mom's mom used to use it, and it's one that I've actually really liked. They have the translucent, they have the colored ones like light, medium, and fair, or something like that, and then they also have the extra translucent. I use the extra translucent. I find it's easier to manage than one with a color, because then you have the whole issue of, you know, it changing the color of your foundation or not matching your skin or whatnot. So it's too much problem. So I like to use this one. I buy this one for the most part. The only places that I've found it have been Walgreens. I think Walgreens. CVS doesn't carry it. Walmart may carry it. Target doesn't carry it. But Walmart, I haven't really seen it. The only place that I found it is Walgreens. And it's about $8-9, and it comes like this. So this is the one that I use. It's the best one that I've found so far. Yeah, there's other, you know, more expensive fancy ones and whatnot, but do you really want to spend that much money when this one does the job? You can if you want, but this one does the job. I really like it. And that's the one I've been using for a while. So, you know, maybe our abuelitas were onto something. So let's go ahead and put this one on. So what I do is obviously it has the little powder thingy puff, and then the thing that goes on top. I don't like to use this. I like to use the brush. So what I do is I put some of the powder here and I kind of just pat it and put it on my skin. So I grab some like this, and then see how I put it like that. And then I kind of just loose and then just apply. Done with that. So for weekdays when I go out, this is a mascara that I like to use, the Voluminous Butterfly. It's the best one that I've found that kind of fans the eyelashes out. I actually tried to change this week because I was out of it, and I tried to get another one by Maybelline just to kind of see how it worked. I had to return it because it was all like glooped together and it didn't do anything for me. So this is the one that I like by L'Oreal, Voluminous Butterfly. It's pretty much the best one. I get the blackest black. And this is the one I do for everyday use. There's another one that I use for like weekends and special events. And it's the, I believe this one's L'Oreal as well. It's the Voluminous Superstar. And it comes with two ends like this, because number one is the serum that you're gonna be adding, or like the primer that you're gonna be adding to your eyelashes, which is what makes it more voluminous and makes them fan out. And then you have the actual mascara on the other side. So this one lasts me more because I only use it, like I said, on the weekends, or you know, if I'm going like an event or a special night out or whatever. But for every day, I try not to use this one because, you know, this one does the job pretty much the same, just this one fans it out and gives you more volume. This runs about $7-8, and this one runs about 9 or 11, so it's not that bad. So what you do is and for this one, since it's my eyes, I'm gonna go in with this one. I'm gonna use this, so this is the, like the serum or the primer. It's more of a primer. So you kind of just go in and apply it to your eyelashes. Now, don't make the mistake that I did where I did both primers and then I went in to do my my mascara, because this dries instantly, and once it dries, it's not good because it becomes hard. So then you don't have that maneuverability to fan out your eyelashes. So do one, and then right after you do, see how it looks? Right after you put the primer, then you go in with the mascara. Don't apply primer and then go back with the mascara, because by the time you finish over here, it hardens, and then you can't maneuver the eyelashes as much. So that's done. So now for the blush, I use this brush that's a little like tapered. So I've been using this one for years, and I actually really like it. It's the e.l.f. blush palette, and it comes with 3 different tones plus a bronzer. You can tell this is the one that I use the most. I sometimes alternate with this one, but this was too pink for me, so I usually use this one. I sometimes use this one. This bronzer I don't really use because there's another bronzer that I like, but this is good for travel because you can put it in there and you can use both. So I go in, and in regards to the blush, I'm gonna explain to you really quick. The blush goes in this area, the apple of your cheeks. So this part right here is what would go with the blush. Your bronzer is gonna go up here, and then you're gonna kind of bring it down like an S, and it's gonna come here. The bronzer is gonna go in the hollow parts of your cheeks. And to find the hollow parts of your cheek, you're just gonna do like a fish face. So the bronzer would go here, and the blush would go here. So you don't have to do that face later, but for the most part, you kind of know. So I would just go with the blush, and I would kind of just go like this. And I once had a makeup artist, sometimes I kind of brush it like this, and sometimes I kind of just pat it. And I actually had a makeup artist tell me once that I should start from the top and the bottom. So it's like the stronger part is here, and then the lighter part is here. I do that sometimes, but it's not something that I practice all the time. So sometimes I kind of just brush, and see how it's going over the apple? You do it from the apple all the way here. Now I'm not going to talk about highlighter because that's not something we mostly wear on the daily. I don't really think we should be anyway. That's more of like a nighttime look. So I'm not really going to talk about highlighter, but if you do use the highlighter goes here. And I like to use a brush that's like fanned out, so it kind of just goes like this. That's if you're using powder. If you're using liquid, then you kind of just use it with your finger. So this goes right here. See, like you can kind of see the color. And I would sometimes put like a little bit here in the middle, just to kind of give it a little bit of a color. Okay, so we got that out of the way. This is the one that I use for the bronzer. I actually got this in a goodie bag at an event in Miami that I went to, a beauty event, and I left it closed for a while because I wasn't one to use bronzer, but I decided to use it, and it's also water resistant. It's called the Catrice Cosmetics Sun Glow Matte Bronzing Powder, and it says water resistant and medium skin, which is pretty much really good for my skin tone. So this is what I've been using, and it's what I use. I prefer this color over the other one. So I actually apply it with this little kabuki brush because I feel that it has more control because it's smaller, so it's like it sticks better. So this is how I apply the bronzer. So I go in and I grab some, and then I kind of just go, let me grab the mirror because I can't see. So I kind of go in and just do this. You're supposed to put it where the sun naturally hits your face. So you kind of just go like this, like on the edge of your face. And then you're supposed to bring it down like an S. So you're supposed to go like this, actually like a 3. So it's supposed to be like this, and then like this. And the reason you bring it down here is because the bronzer on your cheek, on the bottom of your chin, for those of us that have sometimes a double chin, that minimizes it. And it contours this jawline area. So you would go in like this, and you'd bring it from here, and you'd bring it down here, and then you would put it underneath where you just put your blush. And like I said, I like to pat. I don't really like rubbing because then it kind of takes away your makeup underneath. So I just kind of do it like that. You could do it like that too. And then you come down and you bring it here. And here you can swipe it if you want. So you have that. You have that. See how it makes it more contoured? See, you can see that line now. Versus here, you can't see that much. So then you come back. And for those of you wondering, I got this at either Walmart or Target. It's very inexpensive, but I really like it to apply my makeup, but also my masks and all that kind of stuff because your hair doesn't get in the way. And you don't have to necessarily pull it up. So then you bring it. And then what I like to do that I saw somewhere, you put it here. Because this part, which would tend to be your double chin, would get pulled up. And then I also apply it on the nose because I don't like my nose because it's thick. So it's actually from my dad's side because my mom actually has a really thin nose. But I got my dad's nose and all of his family. So I kind of just use it on my nose to kind of thin it. There is a little brush that I forgot to bring and I'm a little bit in a hurry, so I can't do it with you right now. But there's a little brush that I use, and I use the bronzer and I kind of brush here and here, and that's what thins, but you can use this as well, and that's what kind of thins your nose. So if you're looking to do that, you can do it like that. Okay, so I think we're done with that. And then now comes the eyebrows. So I'm pretty much done. The only thing that's missing right now is the eyebrow. You can always go back to and just kind of put a little bit more powder. If you don't want those harsh, but you shouldn't have harsh edges anyway. But just to kind of cover up again. So I like to go over the eyebrows with this because it dries up any excess oil that I might have, especially because it's a pencil, so it won't go over well if it's oily. So now comes the eyebrows. If you guys have been following me lately on social media, you'll know that for the most part I use the Anastasia Brow Wiz. I have been using that for years. It's the one that I find works best with me. I know there are powders. I tend not to like the powder because I like to draw on the edges. So I find that pencil is what helps me the best. So that's what I tend to use. I recently misplaced, I don't know, the Anastasia one. So I had to end up buying another one. And the thing is that I misplaced it. And I realized it when I was about to put my makeup on for an event, and I freaked out because I was like, I don't have anything else. Like, I mean, I was gonna have to use an eyeshadow that I had, but like I said, it's not my best, and I don't like to do crappy jobs on my eyebrows. So I was like, I have to have an eyebrow pencil somewhere, and I did. I had one that NYX NYX had given me in a goodie box that they mailed me. And it's exactly the same as the Anastasia one with the spoolie and the pencil on one end. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna give it a try. It was actually like in a brunette color. And I said, you know what, this might actually work, at least for now, and I'll go buy another one later. But surprisingly, it worked really well. It's the one that I've been using because I was like, why am I gonna go spend on an Anastasia one if I have this one to resolve, at least for now? So it's been the one that I've been using, but I feel now that I lightened my hair again, you guys haven't noticed, I cut and lightened it. I feel that it goes better because the other one was a little bit darker, which was fine because I had my roots grown out, so it blended well. But I feel that this one's a little bit lighter and works a little bit better with the look that I have now. And it works exactly the same. Honestly, it has the same staying powder. And the other one is, I believe, 21 or 22, and this is about $7-8. So, resuelve. I also recently went to Walgreens and I saw that Wet n Wild has one exactly the same for $3.59. I went ahead and bought it just to try it out to see how it works. I haven't used it yet, but I'm going to, and I will let you guys know on Instagram if it works or not. But for now, we're going to be using this one, which is exactly the same as the Anastasia, the spoolie and the pencil on one end. Okay, so let's get started with the eyebrows. Like I was saying, for the eyebrows, this is the one that we're going to be using. Now, a lot of you guys have asked me, like, what's the first step to the eyebrows? First of all, the first main step is to get your eyebrows either waxed or threaded. I prefer threading. I feel that it gives me a better shape. It doesn't tug at my skin so much. And it's what I've been doing for like the last, I wanna say like the last 10 years, maybe even more. And I've been going to the same place ever since. The only time that I didn't go was when I was living in Miami, but in Miami I also found a place that was doing, that did threading, which was very hard for me to find because apparently Miami's not on the threading game so much as they are here. So it was kind of hard for me to find one that I really liked. I did find one. They reshaped my eyebrows a little bit. So when I got back to LA, they had my usual girl had to kind of reshape them. So it took a little bit longer for us to get on board. But that would be my number one step. Have someone professionally either wax them or thread them and kind of give you the shape, and then you go from there. And the reason that I say that that's the number one important step is because when you're doing your eyebrows, you're gonna follow the shape of your eyebrows. So if, for starters, you don't have a good shape of eyebrow, it's gonna be super hard because then you're gonna have to create your eyebrow when you do it, and it gets a little bit harder. So once you have that done, I go every 2 to 3 weeks to have them threaded because I used to wait a month, but I noticed that every time I waited 4 weeks, which you can, but the only problem that I noticed was that she would have to reshape them because there was so much growth. That it would change the shape of the eyebrow, so she would have to reshape them, and then every time I went they were a different shape. Not like super like big difference, but because I'm so particular with my eyebrows, I would notice them. So I decided to go every 2 to 3 weeks because then she just has to maintain them. She just kind of takes off the excess from top and the bottom and the middle, and that's it. Versus if I go like every 4 weeks, then she kind of has to like reshape it because there's growth. So this is how I have them. Now you can see that they're already shaped. So what I do, and you're always gonna have one eyebrow that's better than the other, and mine actually alternates. Sometimes it's this one and sometimes it's this one. And I have an issue with it being this one because this is my side for pictures. Most of you guys that know me know I have a side for pictures. This is my best side, so this is the side that I usually take pictures on. So when I have a crappy eyebrow, it makes me super pissed because this is the side that I use. So as you can see, I'm gonna get closer so you can see, this is the eyebrow that I have now. So this for the most part is like perfection. See how she trimmed the top and it's like perfectly done. Also, obviously, if you're going out, you would add a little bit of like a beige powder here to kind of mark your eyebrow more. Some people like to use it on top. I don't. I use it mostly on the bottom just to kind of mark it. But this is daily use, so we're not gonna do that. So you brush them upward first. This eyebrow we've been working on because it's been crappy since I got back from Miami. There was a lot of hair missing here, so she's been working on it and it's been better. So we're at a place where we like it. It's the best that I've had it in a while. It just makes it really difficult when they don't match or they're not as close as possible, because then I have to reshape it when I go and fill them in. Like I can't just fill them in. So this is how you do the eyebrows. So let's go ahead and show you guys. Sorry, I'm kind of fixing the lighting here. Okay, so let me just move this out of the way. So the first step that you're gonna do is you're gonna underline it, this bottom portion. Then you're gonna fill in upward in an upward motion, and then you're going to line the top. So I'm gonna use the mirror because I need to see closely, because again, I don't have my contacts or my glasses. So I need to see clearly, but I'm gonna do it here so you can kind of see it. So once again, you kind of just brush. See how we have that little area right there that's like a little bald spot. So we kind of brush this upward. So we've brushed this to the side. Now you go in, turn this around, and you kind of just line. Hope you guys can see. And this is why I say that it's very important to have the shape done, because you're following the natural flow of your eyebrow, the natural arch. So if you don't have it done correctly, or you have too many bald spots, it's gonna get very hard to do. It's doable, but you're basically painting on your whole eyebrow. So with this part, it's easier because you kind of just follow the natural line of it. So the bottom part is done, you can see. So then now I go and I do this part. And then once I do this line, then I kind of fill in this part like this. And the reason that you do it like this is because it's natural strokes, which means they'll look like hair. If you draw it on too much, it's gonna look like a chola, painted. So you would do it like this, so they kind of look like hairs, but that's also the reason why you have a spoolie, because after doing the fine little strokes, you go in and you blend it this way so it doesn't look so drawn in a sense. This is kind of where it gets tricky. See how it's coming along? This is kind of where it gets tricky, because if you look at this eyebrow, I have a perfect little line here. So it's something that I just follow. This one doesn't have that perfect of a line. So I need to create that one. So that's where I kind of struggle sometimes. So then this is what I do. And what you're doing is you're following this area, you're gonna follow with this. So see how this doesn't have hair here? So I have to do it this way. So it matches the height of this. Now you go in and you brush upward to blend it in. See how it makes it softer? And then you kind of just go. This part will always be brushed up. This part will always be brushed to the side. So see how we have like a tentative one? So I just need to fill in like this part a little bit more because I don't have hair, so I need to draw it a little longer there. A little harder, I mean. And looks like I need to fill in here. And sometimes what happens is I do this eyebrow and then I do this one and then I notice this one's a little thicker, so then I kind of have to go and make this one thicker because I like them to be as close as possible. Like they say, your eyebrows are not twins, they're sisters, so they're obviously going to be a little bit different, but I like to make them as close as possible. So there you see, you kind of just clean the edges here. You can always grab a Kleenex and kind of just clean there, make sure this edge is thin, and then kind of just. Okay, so once we have this one, it looks like it's pretty much done. I'm a perfectionist, so I always go over it again and again and again and again and again until like I feel like it's as perfect as it's gonna get. But I don't want to bore you with all of those little details here. So for the most part, you get it done. I after like look at both of them, make sure that they're as even as possible. If one is a little bit thicker, then I go back and make the other one a little bit thicker. If I can make it thinner, then I make it a little bit thinner. That's why for the most part, they both look the same. So now I go back to this one and kind of just do the same thing. Start with the bottom. Again, this is why I say the shape, having the shape done by someone professionally is much more easier. See? See how this one looks better? I just look up like this so I can see from the bottom how it looks, and then I kind of just brush them up, and then if I see any empty spots, then I kind of just fill in. For the most part, face front, they're pretty cool. Okay, so that's what takes more time, like I told you guys. Now, once I finish that, I go ahead and do my lipstick. That varies. I don't really use dark colors or heavy colors or heavily pigmented, should I say, colors during the day. So for the most part, I like to use this, which is like a Revlon Kiss Balm. It's only like $3 or $4, which is really cool, but it's kind of like a chapstick, colored chapstick. It's really good, but I usually, if I'm like running really quick errands and I'm not doing like my eyebrows, I'll do this, and it gives like a hint of color with like a little bit of gloss. But there's also days that I will use this on top of like another lip balm. This one by Revlon is one that I really like. It's like this color. So I'll probably wear this one and then this one on top for a little bit of color. But because I'm gonna do a live today, I'm actually gonna do color. So you guys are lucky. Maybelline one. It is a matte kind of lip gloss. It does have pigmentation. And I loved it so much. It has really, really good staying power. I mean, like, I'm talking 10, 12 hours, even more. So we're gonna use these two today, and I might put like a lip gloss on top. So I'm gonna use this pencil by, I don't know if I got this here or in Mexico. But this is the pencil lip liner by Celavi. And it is color Ruddy Brown. I find that that's the one that goes best with this one. 15 lover. So let me show you how this goes on.
Se puso linda, su amiga llamaba, salió de rumba, nada le importó, porque su novio ella le engañaba, como si nada. Ella se preparó, se puso linda, su amiga llamaba, salió de rumba, nada le importó, porque su novio ella le engañaba, como si nada. Baby.
Final result. And we are done. That is it. The makeup is done. You just kind of do your hair and do your earrings. Obviously, you take this off and you are set for your everyday. Obviously, it took longer because I was doing a step-by-step tutorial, but it shouldn't take you more than, if you're doing your eyebrows, it shouldn't take you more than 20-25 minutes. If you skip the eyebrows, you can get done in like 10 minutes. If you're doing your eyebrows for the first time, it might take you a little longer because you're gonna get used to it. So after that, you can do it pretty quick. I do it pretty quick. Obviously, I took a little longer today because I was giving you like a step-by-step. But for the most part, it's pretty easy. This is an everyday makeup that I use. Obviously, like I said, for a night makeup, let me know if you want me to do one like that too. I can add the eyeshadow and the eyebrow, the eyeshadow and the eyeliner and all that good stuff, the extra that we add for the night. So I hope that you liked it. Let me know if you want me to do any other tutorials, any other specific one that you want me to do, or if you want me to do a nighttime. Let me know. I'm kind of getting the hang of these videos, so I hope that you liked it. Thank you.